Tommaso.
Tommaso, yeah.
Tommaso.
This is my name.
Welcome, Tommaso, to Madame Rotterdam podcast. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
I am so excited to start talking to you about, maybe if we go back to your beginning here in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
How did you end up from Italy to the Netherlands?
Yeah, sure. So my story in the Netherlands starts 3 years ago when I was working for TU. Actually, I came from Italy here to work there. I was working in sustainability, and I spent my time doing research into waste management. And I spent 2 years in the university, which was a very nice environment where you don't have to shave. And actually, I'm still not shaving. And Since that time. So because of this shave problem, I decided I don't want to work for corporates. But I decided I kind of like this country, and so startup was the best solution for me.
So you came to work for TU Delft University?
Yeah.
In the sustainability department?
Yeah, I was working in civil engineering.
Okay.
Because my background it is industrial engineering.
Okay.
Which I studied in the University of Bologna.
Okay.
Which is a lovely student city in Italy. Which is actually the oldest university in the world.
Wow.
It was founded in 1088.
1008.
So almost 2,000 years. No, almost 1,000 years ago.
Wow.
Which is impressive, and but so the city itself is very old, like everything in Italy. But I was studying supply chain and industrial engineering, and so from there I decided to take care about the environment. So I came here.
And why did you, as a kid, decide to go for industrial engineering and chain?
Oh, this is a nice question. Actually, I mean, I spent my time, my life, at least when I was very young, and I think I still consider myself an artist. So actually, I mean, I think you can also see my look, which is not very technical. So I always spend my time drawing and being creative, which I think I am. But I also like to play with math and science in general. Okay. So from this weird combination, I decided to become an engineer. Okay. For the reason, I mean, actually it was very natural. So when I was there, I really couldn't elaborate. But now, if I think back, so I think it was the best solution for me to express my creativity, but have a solid technical foundation. Yeah. So actually, it was a way for me to be a bit different, no?
So you're also an artist in the sense that you draw a lot. What kind of type of art that you do?
Yeah. I'm an artist, but artist I think is a very important word. I'm just somebody who likes to draw a lot. So I used to paint. Actually,
oils or oil color.
Of course, oil. It is my favorite medium, but it is also the most challenging. Yeah. Because to paint with oil you need space. Yeah. Because you're using some chemicals, which is not very nice to sleep next to them. Yeah. But oil is my favorite, and right now I'm painting with ink, like this Chinese calligraphy style. Wow. But I mean, I'm more into portraits, self-portrait. So it's very, it's something very natural for me. Actually, this is something that I really don't want to structure anyway. This is also the reason why I decided not to go for schools, art schools, because I really want to keep it free. Because for me, like painting is just a way to spend some nice time, no? Yeah. To really stay in the flow.
Yeah, I get it.
So it's a sort of meditation, I think.
I get what I mean. So it's something to, like an outlet.
Yeah, it's something very personal, which often I even don't publish or promote my artworks, because it's something which, for me, it really stops as soon as I stop drawing. It's not something that I'm doing for a purpose. Yeah. Just for me to enjoy that moment.
Too bad, because I was gonna ask you to if you have somewhere where you publish it. So when you came in, so you kind of went for a field that will have both the kind of your left brain and your right brain in sort of way.
Like that,
so logic and creativity together, and that's why you went for industrial. What is it? Industrial engineering. And did you always knew that this is the field that you wanted, or did it happen, or did your friend how did you end up doing industrial engineering?
Yeah. Initially, I was thinking to study something more connected to science.
Yeah.
So I spent the first year at the university. Well, I was sitting in the math classroom, asking myself, why should I go simply for math?
Yeah.
Because I still find mathematics very fascinating. And on the other hand, I was also asking myself, why I don't simply go for the school to teach me how to paint?
Yeah.
So I was struggling between, but at the end, I found out that industrial engineering, it is a nice topic because it's really something which helped me to frame my thoughts. So of course, like every school, it is a process, no? So you enter somehow and you end up someone else.
Yeah.
It's similar to the video clip of the Pink Floyd, no? The Wall. Of course, in a very more friendly and positive view.
Yeah.
But I think this is what school is trying to do.
Yeah.
Of course, most of the time it doesn't work, or you really create hamburgers meat, like in the video. But actually, this is a process. So, and I enjoy to be an engineer, or at least have to dedicate some hours on my day to things like an engineer.
Okay, wow. So when you came to the Netherlands, did you already have an idea about it, and when you got here, it was changed, or was it the same, or you didn't have any expectation at all?
Yeah, nice question. When I came here, one of the reasons why I came, of course, I was interested about the topic because sustainability is a nice topic, and I also was interested to mix this knowledge, which I was close to getting from the TU, which is very technical in the term of environmental engineering. So you think about kilos, tons, etc. And I was thinking to mix with euro and other kind of indicator, which are closer to economy or management.
Yeah.
Because I think that sustainability, until now, it is a topic which is still very academical. So in the university offices, they know a lot.
It's a theoretical
but
subject.
It's still very theoretical. And so I also discovered that most of the tools which in the university, they are well understood. For example, to calculate the lifetime value of an object, so how much an object has an impact on the environment.
Yeah.
It is a very cumbersome procedure.
Yeah.
So this was the reason why I came to try to mix my economical knowledge with something more for a good purpose. Actually, I think my life has been always learning something and try to mix with the next stuff. So actually, right now I'm doing the same. So I spent 2 years in the university working as a researcher, and so I have this scientific approach, which I'm now mixing back with my creativity. Adding startup knowledge, and try to make Swabit happening.
I like, we will go back to Swabit in a bit, but I like how you said that sustainability is more of a theoretical field, and maybe since that you are already now kind of in the sustainability and you did a lot of projects there, go into what is that one thing that could turn sustainability from theoretical into practical? What is it that, because I hear a lot of people saying sustainability is like a word, but and there is, where is sustainability happening? You cannot find it. It's just like, there are big conferences talking about sustainability. Exactly. There's no practical, you could do A, B, C, then you have accomplished sustainability. Maybe you could...
No, of course. Actually, you are saying something very true. So, if you go to conferences or if you go to speak with some of my former colleagues, you can speak for days about sustainability, and you will learn a lot. But I think that the most something which is going to make it happening, I think, is to try to make a procedure much more simple, so which they could be understood by everybody. They could be understood by the government, and some regulation can be issued to to incentivize company to act in a sustainable way. I don't know, create a set of indicators to really establish, okay, A is super sustainable, B not too much, C definitely not.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, in the group where I was working for, it was one of the flow that we were studying. They are still studying. Try to come out with a set of easy to understand indicators. Because right now the procedures are very academical, so you have to do a PhD or a master thesis to come out with something that has value from you. So, which is something very okay from the universities, because they have to spend their time doing this. But if you are a company and your ultimate goal is to make more profit, because otherwise you have no reason to have a business, so you don't have time to spend in these procedures.
Yeah, that's true. So you think if you want to apply the sustainability, you have to kind of come from the higher place, with like gemeentes or how to say, like municipalities, or from the government itself, to kind of say these are the regulations for the sustainability. We expect all the companies to follow these rules, but maybe sometimes if their company can apply this regardless if there's a law or not. Do you think that people are not going to apply sustainability in their businesses unless there is a rule? I think this is a $1 million question. I think that because actually it is always a balance. So the government has to push regulations. But of course, those regulations, they have to be pulled from the citizens. So and here I think, but when you speak about, when you have this in mind, you have to think in generations. Because it's not something which is going to happen just with one marketing campaign. So you really have to work hard to change people's mind. But here in the Netherlands, I mean, it is pretty advanced. So citizens, everybody's aware of it. And also here in Rotterdam University, there are some masters which speak about sustainability, and of course I think they are talking in an economical way. So I think we are going in the right direction. That's very good. Since I know that we spoke a bit before about your project with TU Delft at Mongolia. Maybe you can just say the idea of you just described Mongolia, how people outside or the rest of the world see Mongolia from the postcard, which is a landscape, as you just said, and the sky. Is it like that there? And I wanted to ask you about maybe a bit of a different question, is how did you have any expectation going to Mongolia, there? Did you already have, as an Italian guy going to Mongolia for the first time, what was your idea, and did it apply or did it not? Did you search a lot on the internet? What are you gonna expect, or you just said, no, I'm gonna go and jump in and see how it's gonna go?
I mean, nice question. So I mean, I will tell you a story. So coming from the Netherlands, I went to Mongolia for 3 months, and so to go there you have to pass to Moscow airport. So this is the only way to reach, one of the few. Otherwise you have to pass from China, but from here doesn't make too much sense. So you start from Moscow, and there it was the first time I also landed in Russia. And it was the period when Trump got elected. So just to give
interesting times.
It was very nice, because there in the shops in the airport, I think they are still selling those shirts with Putin and Trump together. So I mean, you understand your stuff. Times that they were very fascinating. And then from Moscow you take another plane, and then you reach Mongolia. And it was April, so here in Rotterdam it was starting to be warm, while there it was still snowing. So I remember when I landed, I saw, when your airplane starts to go down, you start to see the environment around you. And generally, especially in the Netherlands, is very civilized. So while there, you start to see nothing, emptiness, and it was white because there was snow. So I was asking myself, am I landing on the moon or something?
Because it was like completely white.
It was completely white, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. So this strange moment during the day where it is not yet day, but not. I mean, the night is over, so it's kind of in between these magical moments, and everything was white. So, and you start to see few houses, actually a few tents, only when you really approach the airport, and then you understand you're somewhere else, which any Google research cannot show you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so, what languages do people speak in Mongolia?
They speak Mongolian.
Okay.
Which is, I discovered, is similar to Turkish, or I think it's not similar, but they share the same roots. Because in the past, Mongolian, they used to be very big. They used to have a big empire.
Yeah.
Which was led by Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
And this is a funny fact. Everything there is named after Genghis Khan.
Wow, to this day.
Yeah, they are very proud of him. So there is, starting from the airport, but passing through energy drinks, restaurants, coffee brands, everything has Genghis Khan name. But the guy went around the world, and so he also established he had some territories in Turkey, and so he spread the language there. So they speak Mongolian, which is a very difficult language to get, but I think they have a peculiar sound. And
do they speak English there? Or?
Yeah, some of them definitely. If you go to the university, and some high level position, yes. But I was there with my interpret, so I spent 3 months basically working with her, which was my.
So you had an interpreter next to you all the whole time, which is awesome.
But this is something very funny. I think it also this is another funny fact, which you cannot find on Google, which was told me by my interpret. So, and it is true. So if you go there in Mongolia, all the position high level, starting from the government, universities, there is a vast majority of girls, women.
Wow.
Which is something counterintuitive or thing I never thought about. Wow. Actually, you thought, okay, the less is developed, the more male are in the percentage.
Yeah.
While there it is quite the opposite, for one reason. Like 20 years ago, when the Soviet period ended, for men it was easier to get a job by working in the factories.
Yeah.
And so by use their strength, by body power.
Yeah.
While for the women, the only way to survive or to keep going, it was to use their brain. So most of them, they study. So and now, as a matter of fact, I have to say 70% or more of the important roles, professors, rectors, parliamentarian, whoever, they are women.
Wow,
which is fascinating, huh?
It is very fascinating, and you never know.
No, you never know.
That in Mongolia, there are actually more woman-driven country, or women are really more involved. Which, as you just said, you expected that if a country is not very well developed, that it will be men.
Yeah, or at least you have this stereotype.
This is very
But
nice.
this is a stereotype because then you go there and you just interact with the women. That's I think is very nice.
Yeah. So Mongolia is a feminist country.
Yeah, actually it is.
Yeah, but it's very natural, and I like how it went naturally, and they didn't have to fight for it because it's just natural.
Yeah, it was just a set of conditions.
Yeah, this is usually how it should be. Naturally, you don't have to fight for it. Women didn't have to. It just came naturally, and that's how it's supposed to be. And not say no, women shouldn't. Like the case 150 years ago in Europe, and still now in the Middle East, where it's still an issue. Okay, and then the project was that you did in Mongolia. Maybe if you talk about it a little bit, and then.
Yeah, sure. Because I think now you're wondering what I was doing there. Mm-hmm. I spent 3 months to study and try to establish the waste management sector there, in order for the country to develop some technologies, which have been developed by Netherlands. To process waste and to produce new materials. Yeah. So because the country itself it was kind of a perfect case, because in order to buy new raw material, they had to import from China or Russia, which takes quite a long time. So while there are technologies right now that you can produce, for example, plastic or concrete even to build new buildings, directly from the demolition waste or from the waste itself.
Oh, nice.
So we were trying to make Mongolia circular, which is another hot topic, circular economy, from the beginning. So I was there as a European expert.
Who was invited? Who did the TU Delft of the Netherlands went there to help them, or the Mongolian government asked for this help?
To be honest, I think this is a project which was funded by Europe.
Okay.
And because Europe has a whole set of projects to help countries in Asia.
Yeah.
So Philippines, Bangladesh, Mongolia, all the countries. And of course, there in that case, it was to help develop this sector, which is still very informal, but there are nice conditions to make it happen.
And you're an Italian guy who just represented the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was an Italian guy, which I think I look very Italian, or at least for sure not Dutch. I was representing the Netherlands there.
But this is an awesome.
But this is also nice. This is also nice about traveling or working far. Of course, here in the Netherlands, being Italian, everybody knows. Actually, Dutch people, they know Italy better than me, because they go to holidays everywhere. So, but there, the nice fact that when you speak about Italy or Netherlands, for them doesn't make difference. It's okay, you're from Europe.
Yeah.
So you understand that distances are very subjective.
Yeah, I get it.
And the idea of being divided, being diverse, especially now in Europe, is a hot topic. If you go to Mongolia, you say, you're a European, you're fine.
Yeah, I get it, because when you're from a different continent, then you are from that continent. It doesn't matter from which part.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make
sense. Yeah, because more or less, seeing you from Mongolia makes you very similar to somebody in the Netherlands, because more or less you share European values, which have been made by history, etc. So I think that that's why when people in the space, they look at the Earth. I get it. Everybody look like the same.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. And when you were in Mongolia, because now we just talked about it.
This is a nice topic.
It is a very nice topic, actually. Not a lot of people know about it.
We should make another podcast. About Mongolia.
Because you mentioned that you're vegetarian, maybe you could just say what did you eat there, and for the vegetarian people know that in Mongolia it is not very vegetarian friendly.
Yeah, definitely. There actually there are more sheep than people. So, and some of them every year they are you eat them. And but if you are a vegetarian, if you're in the capital, you can survive. So you can also eat French fries at McDonald's.
Yeah, which is very weird. I didn't know that they had McDonald's there.
So this is absolutely fine. But if you want to travel, and I also traveled 1 week in the south, in the desert of Gobi, you have to take some food with you. So in my case, I just brought rice, some fruits, and a few other things. So it was just very. It was a very interesting trip.
Yeah, I can imagine eating rice.
But they're like, this is another funny fact. Actually, we can make the entire podcast about Mongolia. They drink hot milk with salt.
With salt?
This is the typical. It is called Mongolian tea, which is funny because first time somebody offered me Mongolian tea, I said, okay, why not? Should be green tea or something. Actually, I really like tea, so I was very open to try. And they offered me this milky hot salty thing, which was very weird.
Yeah.
But this is something that they offer you everywhere. So if you are in the middle of nowhere and you see a tent, you enter there because, of course, nomads, they are very welcoming to each other because they have to help to each other to survive. So there is this culture. You can enter, and first thing they offer you a cup of this, and it is very impolite to say no.
Does it taste good?
Well, from a European standard, or at least from somebody who's used to drink tea, coffee, or the things that which surround us, it is a bit weird, because it's very
Is it too much salt?
Yeah, it's very salty, but also it's very particular.
Wow.
Because it is also fermented a bit.
Yeah.
So which makes it slightly sparkling. I don't know. It's something that you have to try.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It will have that sour taste as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
This is another fun fact.
Yeah, a fun fact you're not gonna find out.
Yeah, there are millions of them.
But I liked how the nomads there, they welcome you because of the culture that they, have, that everybody is welcome at least for a cup of hot tea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not even though they don't have much to offer you, but they will offer you at least that.
Definitely.
It's beautiful. Okay, now let's go to Swabit.
Oh wow.
That's how
we are
I knew you
traveling back to Europe.
Yeah, no, we're from Mongolia all the way to Rotterdam. I knew you actually the first time I saw you. You were doing an info table here in TS in Venture Cafe. It was, I think, almost a year ago. And you had the Swabit where it has to do something with card and it's an app.
Yeah.
And I was asking you a lot of questions about it. Maybe now you can just tell me, what is Swabit?
Okay, this is a nice question. I mean, Swabit, first of all, it is an app which is going to be used mainly by international students to connect with like-minded people around them, and to discover places they encounter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people can connect with other people where they share the same location. And by location, I mean 50 meters or even less. So basically people in the same room, they can connect with strangers just because they are on Swabit. So, I mean, I always speak, as I said, I used to work in Delft, and actually I still live there. So, and every day to reach CSC where we are, I used to take the train. And so every day I see everybody look at their phone. We really no connection with the real social network, which is the one which is around us.
Yeah.
So with Swabit, we want to kind of prevent this, even if it is counterintuitive or maybe even paradoxical. So we want to offer an app to make people speak again in the real life. But you have to pass through an app, because right now technology is so widespread, so embedded in our brain, that an app is the most natural tool. But again, this is paradoxical.
You're right, because we spend the majority of our time on our phone. Today I came to the metro and I saw like everybody's on the phone. I was on my phone, but put music on and just put it in my pocket. And I noticed, it's true. Okay, say now I am in the train and you're in the train. I have the app so people can understand what it does.
Yeah, sure.
I have the app, you have the app as well. It's downloaded and now I'm using it. How do I know that you are there? Is it going to give me a notification that Tommaso is there?
Okay, I mean, first of all, everybody has, in order to interact, both of you need to have the app.
Yeah.
And then you can create a digital post, which looks like a digital card.
Yeah.
Actually, the idea initially came from the business card, which is another tradition in Asia, like in Mongolia. But so you have to create your post, and your post stays around you. Let's say you create a post around your bubble.
Yeah.
And people who are within this bubble, within 50 meters, they can read your post, and if they want, they can react to it and start a conversation with you.
Oh,
and
nice.
So same wise is going to work with the places, with the location. So certain information are going to reach you only because you are somewhere. For example, if you are still coming back to the train, if you are waiting for the train, the train information are going to appear on the app, on the Swabit app, which they look like a card.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I mean, we want to filter all the information, which is super everywhere, in a very condensed way, in the shape of a card, which come to you only when you need it. So in the moment when you need it. So in the train station for train information.
Yeah.
If you're in the train, you want to speak about Mongolia, you can create a post. and somebody's going to interact with it.
That's actually really awesome. But if that person is not within the range of 50 meters, for example, say I talked to somebody on the train, it was interesting, and then I left. Are they going to still be in my contact? Can I save them to talk to them whenever later, or?
Yeah, actually, I mean, for now, for this stage, you can just interact with people who are in your proximity.
Okay.
But of course, you can interact, and you can also share your WhatsApp number.
That's what I was
and then you are going to switch to other tool. Actually, we don't want to create any other competitor to these boxes like WhatsApp, Facebook, LinkedIn. But we want to create something which stays on the top of those. And which works only when you are somewhere. So because I mean, I think that this is part of our vision. Swabit is an app which doesn't put you in a box. So you are free to be yourself in the present moment. So right now I am the founder of Swabit. So maybe I am using my LinkedIn profile. But maybe later will be the artist, and so I'm going to use my Instagram profile. So who knows? But
okay. And I like it because I know previously the story of you and your co-founder who found each other, and it's an amazing story. Can you maybe say the story of how did you guys come to meet?
Yeah, true. Actually, the story was a kind of pre-version of Swabit because we met in a strange circumstances. So we were stuck in the airport, coming back from Rome to Rotterdam, because I have to mention that my co-founder is also Italian, but he has a different background than me. So he's 20 years older than me. He's working for a company selling oil and gas in Rotterdam. So, but of course, he's also a technical engineer. So we have this stuff in common, and we met briefly for a Christmas dinner. But it was we just shake hands, and then after 7 months we met by coincidence in the airport. And we stay 7 hours in Rome because our plane was delayed, and so we say, hi Kiran. Kiran, it is his nickname. How are you? Do you remember me? And then we spent 7 hours. We spoke about everything, starting from life, etc. And we like each other. And I was already working on Swabit, which was an initial idea, and then we started to collaborate. But it was really a serendipitous coincidence.
Yeah, I remember when Kiran was telling the story at the Your Story Matters Venture Cafe that I organized with Venture Cafe, and then he was saying, I like this guy. He's talking about you. He's just like, I saw this guy, and he was just like, I knew he was different. I knew he was crazy enough to go on his own and do this, and I was just like, I gotta be part of this.
Yeah, this is exactly how it went.
And that is really awesome to meet some people and then just click like that. It's it's natural fit.
Yeah, it is natural, but I think it's something which also takes really some serendipitous circumstances. Because actually, we met before with him. But it was maybe in that moment. He didn't click. Because everybody was busy with his life. So it takes some particular moment, some location. So we were stuck in the airport.
Some delay in the airport.
Some delay. So it is like when you create the perfect cocktail. You have to put a bit of everything there. It's
funny because I was gonna say maybe it's meant to be your destiny, but I don't know if you believe in that or not.
Well,
it just could be. It's the right time, the right circumstances.
I mean, maybe destiny could be a nice way to speak up probability. But I don't know. Actually, together with Kiran, we always used to say that, how is not our business. We just have to dream about.
That's really
so, which is
how is not my business.
Kind of
dream about it, and that's it.
Which is our mantra. Because in order for us to foresee how to make Swabit happening 1 year ago, it was impossible. But both of us, we share this dream, and so when you are with this dream perspective, you keep your eyes open, and whenever there are opportunities, you catch them, and then this is how it happened.
Because actually finding the right co-founder or finding a co-founder is actually one of the main reasons why 90% of all startups fail, because they either find for co-founders and there was no click from the beginning or from the get-go, they fail, or it's just difficult to find somebody who you can click with, just like what you just said. Either the majority of the co-founder I noticed here are friends from school, high school, college, relatives, and not really necessarily like how you guys met, but that's why I feel like it's really interesting, especially here, because it doesn't always happen like that.
Yeah.
But what would you say that the most important thing or the factor about your co-founder?
How
do you know that you are in the right relationship?
Yeah. So first of all, between us, there is a very nice energy. I think we really are energy amplifiers to each other. So which is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's something that you notice since the beginning. So you start a sentence, he finish it. We always argue about decisions, but we are always on the same level of energy, let's say. So actually, we are crazy enough to make it happen.
That's actually really nice. So I do believe in energy as well, which the majority of people are practical, and it's like, what do you mean by energy? I don't see it, then it doesn't exist. But you do have that kind of feelings of energy that you feel like, okay, this person matches me in some way, then you feel it. So something you feel, it's not necessarily something practical, and that's why I wanted to ask this question. And since you're both Italian, are you from the same place?
No, not at all.
Because he's kind of a little bit, I don't know, maybe he's younger, he was blonde, because he has blue eyes. Usually they are from the north.
Yes, but this is another funny fact. Kiran is from the south.
Oh.
So from the Sicily, which is the island in the south, while I'm from the center on the east coast. So, but people from Sicily, there are people who are blonde. Yeah. Because Sicily was under North European people in the past. Yeah. So, and genes mix. Yeah. And then people like Kiran come out.
It's just like half and half, it's true. Because I remember I have friends from Italy here, and then he pointed out to his friend and he said, look at this Italian guy, both are Italian. And I thought he was Dutch because he was blonde and he had blue eyes. And then my friend, the other one, he was from South Italy, like he had dark eyes, dark hair, and a bit darker tone of his skin. And then he's like, this is how you know that he's from the north. And then he pointed out at him and he was like, that's true, I'm from the north, they look like me. So I thought like, okay, Northern Italians are blonde and blue eyes, and South Italian or Southern Italian are a bit darker.
Yeah, I feel that if you're going to take the averages, maybe yes, but
it is not a rule.
It's not a rule.
Okay.
Actually, history and migrations, they definitely play a role.
Which city are you from?
From a small city in the center, which is called San Benedetto del Tronto.
Oh,
San Benedetto del Tronto.
San Benedetto
del Tronto.
Del Tronto.
Which can be translated as Saint Benedict. In Italy, we have a lot of cities named after saint. Of Tronto, and Tronto it is a river. It is like Mass in Rotterdam.
Oh wow! Is it so next to a river?
Yeah, it is next to a river on the sea. So my hometown, I used to live next to the sea, which is a nice place to live.
Yeah, I can imagine. Do you go back a lot, or
unfortunately not too much, because Swabit takes me all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a couple of times per year I'm always there, especially in summer, which is beautiful.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Pizza, all the time.
Pizza, and do you like Italian pizza, or?
I love Italian pizza. I am addicted, definitely.
Where is the places here that resembles Italian pizza in Rotterdam? Like where, if you want a pizza, and of course you're coming from there, you're used to the real taste,
Yeah.
What is the most place here that at least resembles the most there?
Okay. So we had to start with a small consideration.
Okay.
In Italy, there are different kind of people, like me and Kiran, so blonde and dark hair. There are also different kind of pizza.
Okay.
So We are a complicated country. So if you go in the south, the pizza is softer and a little bit. It is softer. If you go in the north, it is more crispy.
Okay.
So my favorite is the one from the south, which actually it was the place where it was invented in Naples.
Okay.
And here the pizza which makes me remind a bit, it is the one from Old Scuola, which is a pizzeria in Rotterdam, which is run by Dutch people. Another funny fact.
Where is it? Do you know the street? I'm gonna go try.
You have to try, but unfortunately I don't remember exactly where it is, because I'm very bad at remembering names.
Okay.
Especially I'm very bad
at
remembering Dutch street names.
What's the name of the place though?
Old Scuola.
Old Scuola. Okay.
Scuola is written with a K.
I will go next. Does it resemble the Napolitan? Did I say it right? Napolitan? Napolitan pizza?
Yeah.
Close enough.
Plus you have to take into account that you are 2,000 kilometers from Naples, but
of course, yeah, it's not gonna be the same. But, close enough. Yeah, because no, it's.
Let's say there are similarities.
Yeah, I can imagine. What is the favorite places for you to hang out in Rotterdam? Besides CSC?
Besides CSC, where I spend almost all my time. One place that I like a lot is Phoenix Food Factory.
Okay.
Which is in the south.
Yeah.
So I really like that area. I also like the way it is growing, expanding.
Yeah.
So it's something that I really like of this city, which there are new areas which they always start from a project. I think this Phoenix Food Factory was sponsored by the municipality somehow. So this is part of a qualification project. Yeah. And right now they are building new bars and restaurants. So I like the way this stuff spreads.
I haven't been there in a long time, maybe a year or so. Oh. It was just, I remember last time I was there, it was, it's actually from its name, it was a factory, and that was empty, but there was like food shacks. Is it still the same food shacks, but now they're putting more bars there? Or?
Yeah, I think it is, let's say, it is a very post-industrial marketplace.
Yeah.
Let's say
good way to put it. Yeah.
There are food trucks there, which are inside this old factory, and now there is also a place to buy beers, and they have 30 beers on draft, which is pretty awesome. They're always changing new beers. So it's a nice place, and it's a place which I love a lot for sunsets.
Yeah,
because
you can see the sun.
Yeah, because you are close to the river, you are facing the river, you are next to you're looking at the harbor there.
Yeah.
And the sun goes down to the harbor. Exactly. It makes very nice effects, especially in May or June. Yeah. That's
actually beautiful. You're chasing the sunset AM as well. I do like to go to places where either I see the sunrise or the sunset. Yeah. For some reason, so this is actually a beautiful a place to go then to have a beer or wine and talk, good company, nice place, especially in the summer. But I know in the winter that the sun is gonna move.
Yeah.
I really chase the sun all the time, so in the winter it's gonna be a little bit more to the left, so you won't see it anymore from there.
Exactly.
So now you have to find somewhere else.
You have to find another lucky spot.
Exactly. I wanted to ask you maybe a little bit about the thing that you did in Harvard Business School. What was your role there?
Okay, let's say there, I studied this course, which I took about entrepreneurship, and so I was a student.
Yeah.
So I was simply a student because I really like to study at the end.
Yeah.
So I also thought it was a nice mix with my research knowledge.
So that's kind of entrepreneurial business knowledge to your practical.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would ask you, how does it feel to be an entrepreneur here in the Netherlands compared to maybe in Italy? Is it the same? Do they have a startup scene there? Do they not? Well, how is it?
Well, this is a difficult question for me to answer because I don't have personal experience with the Italian startup scene, because I start my business here. I have a BV, so I am a Dutch entrepreneur. Yeah. While in Italy, I just been a student in the university and so citizen. So, but of course, I'm Italian, so I also like to read about startup there. Yeah. To my impression, there are startups, especially in some areas, which is mostly in the north, in Milano area. Okay. You can find some startups. I have contact with professor in Bologna University. Bologna is the city where I study, and they are developing this. So definitely there are people with a lot of ideas. Yeah. But I think that it is still a problem to find capital there. So I think it's hard for them to go to the next step.
Without investors or
VCs, to grow. And so basically, you cannot fulfill this startup cycle because I think for every ecosystem, that's why they speak about ecosystem. Because in order to have an ecosystem, you need to have an university which produces talent, some people with idea, so people with money who can make this company grow, and when those company grow, they're big enough to buy other company, and then you create this virtuous ecosystem.
And so it's here more. You feel like it's here they have a better ecosystem.
I think here is growing. Yeah.
I think here
and definitely is more practical than Italy. So it is easier. Also, the country it is smaller. Yeah. So it is easier to connect. It is a country from a Latin culture. And Latin people are more into political networks, so you have to find your way, while here is more meritocratic networks. So I think it's not good or bad, it's just the way it is.
It's just different.
Yeah, it's just different. But to be honest, even if I'm not an Italian entrepreneur, in March I'm going to launch with other entrepreneurs from Italy a book which speaks about entrepreneurships. So we are translating a book which is written by Bill Howlett, which is a professor in Boston, Massachusetts. He teaches this prestigious MIT. He's the professor of entrepreneurship there, and he wrote a book which is called Disciplined Entrepreneurship, which is very nice. So we are translating it, we are doing for free, and just because we want to establish in Italy this entrepreneurship culture and try to make it more disciplined, because in Italy, I think everywhere, but in Italy startups are still subjected to the fairy tale story. So somebody got an idea, made it and became rich, and everybody lived happy.
Happy ever after.
So and this is not like that, because you have to work very hard, and you always underestimate how hard is it. Yeah. So we want to create this momentum there. So we are launching the book in Milano, collaborating with the university there, and we want to make this happening because I think it is something nice for Italy itself.
Nice. So you want to do something back for Italy?
Yeah, I want to do something back because I think it's something that you have to do. Actually, I told you I really like knowledge. So and so speak about startups. There are millions of books you can read.
That's true.
So, but startup have one problem with focus. So you have to be focused because time is money at the end.
That's true.
So you cannot read all the books, even if I would love to. So and the book by Bill Howlett is one of the best because in 300 pages, it really bring you to all across the different steps, starting from validating your idea, finding your market, how to sell it. Of course, you can always go through other topics. Yeah. But with that book, you have a total overall.
Wow. And which books are you reading right now?
Nice question. Okay, I'm reading a book which is about design. It is called Design of Everyday Object, which is considered a masterpiece in design. It has been written in the 70s or so.
Wow.
But you find very nice facts which you can apply for our app, for example.
Yeah, nice. To kind of broaden your point of view, besides you're actually a creative person,
yeah.
And at the same time you're...
Yeah, this is, but I'm always reading more than one book at a time. So this is my, let's say, Sunday afternoon book.
Do you read more than one book at the same time?
Yeah.
Me too. Which people think is weird. I feel like there are times suitable for this book, and then there are times suitable for that book. So I read two at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And people's like, and complete different topics. Like it's not even in the same
Absolutely
topic.
True. Yeah, because there is one book for Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
One book for Monday evening.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Every book has every time has its own book.
Yeah.
So I'm also reading an Italian book in Italian about it is a novel. So because
what is it called?
It is from a writer, an Italian writer. It's called Italo Calvino.
Which means.
Italo Calvino is just the author,
oh.
And the book is called Città Invisibili, which means invisible cities.
Oh, nice.
Which is a very nice story because the guy is, I think, he's a genius, so he's very brilliant. But this is narrative.
Oh, nice.
There's nothing to do with startup and
just like a story.
Yeah, just to give some oxygen to the brain.
Yeah, I get it.
In other parts.
Feeding your imagination, I think.
Yeah.
What inspires you? Or who inspires you?
Wow. To be honest, I really wasn't prepared to this kind of question. No, I'm joking. I think that when... okay, but let's take the facts. I'm inspired by Leonardo da Vinci.
Wow.
Yeah, since I was a kid. For stupid reason, like when I was young, I went to a show of him, and I discovered that he was writing with the left hand. I also left-handed.
Oh.
So, and I don't know, I was a kid, I found this connection. I was also drawing, I say, and this is my hero. And since then, more or less, this figure stays with him because, yeah, I personally find him a genius. Yeah. So this is very inspiring. And actually, he was one of the most curious guy ever.
Yeah, he was.
So I think this is just about it. You have to be desperately curious.
Yeah, I get it. Do you also draw from your left hand and write your left hand?
Yeah. No, I am totally left-handed.
And when you eat, left or right?
Also my toothbrush, my shoes, everything goes with left.
My sister is lefty, but she writes with her left, but she eats with her hand. It's weird.
Oh,
she can do both.
Everything can happen.
Yeah. And where do you see yourself 5 years or 10 years from now?
Okay. Probably still around Netherlands.
Okay.
At least for 6 months.
Yeah.
The other months traveling around the world.
Yeah.
Running Swabit probably.
That's awesome.
And a couple of dedicating also some time to help or mentor or maybe invest startups but I think it's not about money. I basically see myself really mentoring and teaching people or sharing my journey, which is not teaching, it's just share.
Yeah.
Sharing knowledge.
That's awesome.
Sharing experience. I don't want to teach nothing, I just want to share something.
That's really beautiful, especially for maybe young Italian entrepreneurs who want to make it but they don't know where to go. You're there, you know?
Yeah.
Especially if they want to come here. So they could always reach you. What would be my last question to you? Any advice that you want to share or call of action that you want people know about? You can call of action to anything you want. Okay.
Yeah, I think that in order to share something, I want to start today. So far, this is 1 year. I'm already spending time doing Swabit.
Yeah.
So I think the most valuable advice is to keep your heart open.
Yeah.
To your customer, to your user. So don't be afraid to change something just because you think you're right. You are never right as soon as people use it and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I think that I want to share a formula, which is the success formula, but it has nothing to do with numbers. So in order to be successful, or at least to make something valuable, keep your proportion respected. Which means every time you're speaking with a customer, use 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 mouth, and 1 heart.
Oh, nice.
So listen a lot, observe them, empathize with them, and don't sell nothing, don't speak too much. They are the one with the problem that you want to help them to solve. Yeah. So be open.
That's beautiful advice. Any call of action? People maybe to check Swabit, to where would they find you, how would they connect with you?
Oh, of course. I mean, people from Rotterdam, I'm more than happy to connect with everybody. Here the coffee is free, so I will be more than happy to offer you coffee. No, also we can go to the pizza if the people want, or drinking beer. So basically, I'm doing a proximity app, so I would love to invite people to be close to me.
And how would they reach you?
LinkedIn, it's fine. They can type my name.
Tommaso
with 2 M and 1 S, which is a very Dutch thing to write the other way around.
Yeah.
1 M and 2 S. But I'm already used to it. And my surname is Troiani, like Troian. So it's not hard to find. Maybe you can put some link there. And they can also check Swabit. And in 20 days it's going to be on the store. So I will be more than happy to receive feedback from everybody. And basically...
When is your launching day?
1st of November.
1st of November. And I will add the link for Swabit. Maybe they will find you on Instagram. I know it's Swabit_. Yeah,
Swabit_. We have a Facebook page. We are on the most important social media. And we also have a website, which is going to be changed soon, so that's why you see my notes here.
Okay.
But this is part of the process.
But the link, is it gonna have the domain? Is www.swabit.com?
Yeah, domain is going to stay. If you're going to Google Swabit, it's going to be there.
Okay.
So I think it is easy for them to find everything they want.
All right. Well, Tommaso, thank you very, very much for being part of this podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. It was nice to come back to Mongolia because actually since 1 year nobody asked me about Mongolia.
Yeah, no, so it's a fascinating subject.
Also for my mind was nice to come back and to rediscover those funny facts.
Yeah. It's you're actually the first person who ever that I know that went to Mongolia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not a place that a lot of people go.
No, definitely not.
It's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure. And I know I'm going to meet you again in Venture Cafe and CIC.
Yeah, we are always around.
There will be so many conversations to come. Tommaso, thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.